Hello and welcome to the campus here at Lectra. It's the heart and soul of the organisation, based in France in the city of Cestas near Bordeaux. The campus is home to most of Lectra's R&D team, the factory, the innovation lab and of course Lectra's main showroom. Thank you for joining me. Let's go inside. Yes, welcome to the Lectra Furniture Digital event. I'm Chris Rowe and I will be your guide today as we talk about the changes in the furniture industry since the pandemic, and we look to present a visionary way, if you like, to resolve the current challenges that furniture companies face. If you have any questions over the course of the show, please do type them into the chat box and we'll answer them as quickly as possible. Obviously, if it's a particularly technical question, then we will take a bit of time and find the best person to give you the best possible answer. I'd like to start by getting a world view of the situation for furniture. And with that in mind, I have two experts in the industry with me to discuss it. Matteo Grigolini is here with me in the studio, and Bill McLaughlin is clearly in his library. Hello, gentlemen. Matteo, if I could ask you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Matteo Grigolini. I'm a partner of XIL. XIL is a research company focused on the global furniture market and the global furniture sector. We monitor the furniture sector for over 100 countries worldwide, and we publish every year dozens of multi-client reports about furniture sector segments like kitchen furniture, upholstery furniture, and so on. And we also make custom research based on the specific needs of our clients as a sector association and public bodies.
Lots of data. Thank you very much, Matteo. And Bill, introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chris. I'm Bill McLaughlin. I'm the editor-in-chief of Furniture Today, which for more than the last 40 years has been chronicling, tracking, and analyzing the United States furniture business.
Excellent. Nicely done. So you two are the perfect place for me to start this event, and I'd like to get a global view of, for want of a better phrase, the state of furniture. Matteo, how is it?
Sure. So if we look, for example, at the furniture industry, at production, the value of furniture production last year was around $500 billion at factory prices. And around over 50% of such production occurred in the Asia Pacific. And the second area in terms of furniture production was Europe, accounting for 23%, and then the United States, that account for 15%. If we look at the 10 largest countries in terms of furniture production, they account for around 75% of the global production. And the first one is China, followed by the United States, Italy, Germany, Vietnam, and so on.
Bill, looking at that map there, furniture production, are you surprised that North America is only 15% of the market?
Not at all, Chris. The U.S. has been a net importer of furniture for decades now. Much of the production has moved to Asia, which is, in fact, typically the low-cost producer, and furniture, like many industries, tends to follow low-cost production. But the United States is, however, a very large importer of furniture from China, Vietnam, Mexico, and other places around the world.
Well, actually, you mentioned consumption. Let's have a look at the consumption figures then.
Yeah, sure. So if we look at furniture consumption, again, Asia Pacific is the largest area in terms of world furniture market, and it accounts for around 40% of the consumption. The second area are, again, the European Union and then the United States, who both account for around 25% of the market. If we look at the largest top 10 markets of furniture, they account for around 70% of the global furniture market, and they include China, which is again the first one, the United States, Germany, the UK, and other countries. And I think it's interesting to see that in the last couple of years, all these 10 countries increased considerably their consumption of furniture, and for all of them, the level of the furniture market now is higher than it was in 2019.
Yes, I mean, so Bill, obviously these statistics were from 2021, but 24%, does that sound, you mentioned that they're a big importer, does that sound normal to you?
It does, Chris. And I think the key point that Matteo made there is that furniture consumption globally has gone up in the last 2 years. And that's very much the result of the pandemic, with people spending more time in their homes, looking around at their living room, dining rooms, bedrooms. They simply said, "I don't like that sofa. I want a new one. I want a new rug. I need a new desk." So we've seen a 2020 and early into 2021 saw a very dramatic increase in demand, and I think that's a perfect chart for our audience to see. If you see that spike there, the demand for furniture it was explosive, and it has set shockwaves all across the global furniture production community.
Yeah, so the sector development there, I mean, obviously, as he says, the spike. Is there anything else to look at in that? Is that graph telling us anything else, do you think?
Yeah, sure. So for what concern the last year, I totally agree with Bill. So there was a spike in furniture demand that implied a huge increase in furniture production. We estimate around 10% in real terms, excluding price variations. Now, I would add that coming to this year, the picture is pretty different because on the one hand, the market has cooled down due to inflation and also due to the decreasing consumer sentiment in some key markets. And on the other hand, several challenges for furniture producers are still in place. I'm talking about supply chain disruptions, the price of raw materials and components, which is higher than usual, the freight price, and also in some cases, well, energy price increase, as we all know, and in some cases also the shortage of qualified labor in some industries. All this is leading this year, unfortunately, to a decrease of furniture production in real terms. We forecast that in the next years, in the next few years, the situation will gradually normalize. So the sector will hopefully come back to growth at the growth path that it had before the pandemic. So we're talking about around 2% in real terms. But of course, volatility is exceptionally high at this time.
It's hard to tell. Bill, in your opinion, obviously your market's much more at the US, but what do you see as being the things that will make that arrow go up, that arrow for 2023, 26? Do you see anything possibly, can you intimate?
I think Matteo did an excellent job right there of capturing the volatility in the market and the factors that have affected it. From a strictly US point of view, one of the things that bodes well for the future of the furniture industry is demographics. When people form households, they purchase new furniture. When you have a large bubble, in this case, the millennial generation, and behind them, Gen Z, the former millennials are moving into their prime householding years. They're starting to have children, and that bodes very well for furniture. As I said, the first thing you do when you buy a new home is you buy new furniture. So the outlook for the furniture sector, once we get through, and we're still feeling the impacts of the pandemic, right? So you saw this huge spike. You saw enormous supply chain pressures that prevented companies from being able to address that spike, and massive price increases resulting from freight and other raw materials. So we're still, I think, very much in the kind of transition stage. But I think as we move into 2023 and beyond, I think then you're going to start to see traditional market forces, and demographics is one of those very important forces that will start to play a key role, and I think will bode very well for the furniture industry in 2023 and beyond.
Oh, it'll bode very well for the furniture industry. What about for the customer at the end? Because you talk about the costs increases and energy prices and stuff. Presumably there's going to be price hikes, aren't there?
Yeah, sure. So in this year, in the last year, we've seen an increase in furniture prices. For example, I'd like to share the results of a survey that we launched among over 200 furniture producers that replied this summer, and around 40% of these furniture producers placed in all geographical areas report that on the last year they increased furniture prices between 5 and 10%. So, which is, of course, it's impressive numbers, and we know that this year there is still an increase in price in furniture, which is stemming, as mentioned by Bill, by raw material price increases and freight prices and also energy prices.
I mean, it's not a surprise, is it, Bill, that these are going to happen, and they're going to continue going forward, presumably?
I think in some cases we've actually seen the crest of that wave. One of the key factors in those price increases was just an explosive increase in the cost of container shipping out of Asia. If you think pre-pandemic, the average cost of a container out of China to the US West Coast was somewhere around $3,500. At one point last year, that started to approach $30,000. So when you see that dramatic a price increase, that's going to play out in the marketplace. But we are already seeing this year, companies are starting to reduce their freight surcharges. They're not going back to what I would call pre-pandemic levels, but we are already seeing this year prices starting to come down on the cost of furniture. And that's the result of there now being an imbalance of supply and demand. Now in the US, in some cases, there's too much supply and not enough demand to meet that, which is serving to push furniture prices, which should serve to push furniture prices down somewhat in the next 6 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm. Should being the operative word, but
yeah, should is always yes.
Yeah. But I mean, we can safely predict slightly higher prices. But what other trends do you predict are happening, Matteo? What other trends have you picked up in terms of your research?
Yeah, sure. So one of the trends I'd like to share here concerns the upholstery furniture sector and in Europe, and in particular covering materials. So one of the trends that we are observing and that are still occurring in this field is the increase in the share of fabric upholstery furniture out of total upholstery furniture production. So at the moment, fabric accounts for around 65% out of total upholstery production in Europe, which is already high, but this share keeps increasing. And why? So I see at least 3 reasons. First, it's a purely fashion trend towards fabric. Then the innovations that occurred in fabric with respect to cleanability and other technical issues, and all this made fabric more appealing. And then also the fact that there's a growing consciousness about sustainability among consumers, and many consumers perceive that fabric is somewhat more sustainable than its alternative. And so this is also another reason why there's this trend. And indeed, I think sustainability itself is another big trend that is gradually impacting the industry. So again, in a survey we launched last year, over 95% of European upholstery furniture producers indicated that they consider sustainability in making strategy in some of their business areas. And also the fact that several large retailers are committed to sustainability and are pushing their suppliers to align with their standards is also increasing this trend. As I said, sustainability can impact on different areas, and I think it's also interesting to see which areas are more important from this point of view for upholstery furniture producers. So according to the survey I mentioned, the 2 key areas in which producers are investing in sustainability or are thinking to invest in sustainability are production process, which, for example, reducing waste, and also sourcing of sustainable raw materials and sustainable components. And these are, I think, a trend which is going to last for the coming years and grow.
They're going to sustain, in fact. They have sustainability of their own. Bill, sustainability is a huge word, isn't it, at the moment? Any thoughts looking at those pie charts?
I think one of the key points that Matteo made there is that if this is going to be a long-term trend. I think often when people talk about trends, they don't distinguish between what is a fad, something that has a fairly short life cycle, right? A year, 2 years, versus a trend, which is effectively a paradigm shift in the marketplace and will affect the processes for years to come. And I think sustainability is one of those such processes. This is not something that people are going to talk about for the next 6 to 12 months. And then, you know, in 2024 and 25, it's going to go away. I think this is something that you're going to see continue to accelerate and become more important. And again, I'll go back to demographics. When we do consumer research at Furniture Today and we talk to younger consumers, they're very conscious in their purchase habits, and sustainable practices can be a very important tiebreaker for them. They think a lot about who they're buying from and what that company stands for. So I think that's an important point to keep in mind as we go forward. And again, that's a long-term trend. That's not something that we're going to see come and go.
No, right, okay. That's a fixture and a fitting. So, and what other trends have you seen that have more longevity to them?
Yeah, sure. So other trends that I think are worth to be mentioned, and they can have a development also in the future, include, for example, the trends towards designing smart products that can adapt to different consumers' needs. So adapting, now consumers, we use, for example, the same space for work and for relax. And products that are flexible, adaptable, and can adapt to this will be more and more requested. Another trend concerns functionalities. So if we think again about upholstery furniture, some producers are interested in potentially developing products that have functionalities beyond traditional ones. So, for example, I don't know, upholstery furniture that can measure with sensor your breathing activity, for example, something like this. And this is a new frontier. And last but not least, customization is a big trend that has been ongoing since years and is still ongoing. And I believe that several manufacturers are investing in customization in order to differentiate with their competitors. And customization is kind of widening its scope. For example, in upholstery furniture, traditionally manufacturers offer different options for colors, for fabrics, but now there's let's say features for which different options are offered are growing more and more. So other design details, the shape of the armrest, of the backrest, and so on.
Very interesting. Bill, looking at that selection of possible trends, any surprises for you or anything missing?
I feel like I'm a little redundant. Matteo's nailed it again.
Oh, Matteo, you're putting him out of a job.
So I think there's a couple of things underlying these trends. What he calls smart products, we refer to as multifunctional, right? Products that can perform more than one function. And that relates to changing living spaces. In some cases, you know, people are living in smaller spaces. They need products to perform more than one function. When we look at things like customization, all of these things that he talked about are ways to add value and to increase the value proposition of a product. One of the impacts of the pandemic and this inflation is that it's undercut the lowest price point sector of the market. People, in order to be able to justify higher prices, have had to offer more value. And all of these things that Matteo has outlined are ways to add value to a product. So it differentiates it. It gives the consumer a sense, a clear sense that the value in what they're paying for, even if they're paying more money, they're getting much more for a little bit more money. So I think these are very important trends going forward.
Bill, you are anything but redundant. Thank you enormously, guys. That's given us a great sense of where we're going and indeed where the world of furniture is going. So Matteo and Bill, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Bill and Mathieu are giving us a great sense of the innovation trends, and here now to give us Lectra's response to those trends, hopefully, are Clémentine Mittard and Olivier Nold. Welcome both of you. Clémentine, if I could start with you. You heard what those market trends, how they're shaping up. So how do you think they impact your customers?
So in fact, the world is changing very fast, and what we can see is that push all the industry to question the way they work and to adapt the way they work. And if we talk about customization, for example, in furniture, it's quite an increasing trend. It's even a standard in furniture today. This brings a lot of complexity for the furniture companies. The end consumer wants more and more options, more and more components to play with, such as a Lego game. And at the end, that has to be handled on the daily activity. It's quite complex for this company.
Yeah, complex daily activity. Yeah, so exactly how does that happen? What goes on in their daily activity?
So in concrete terms, each order is unique, and each order requires a specific workload in terms of preparation, in terms of production. So all these companies need for each time consider the different options, check that everything is industrialized, manage the motif constraints, all the constraints related to the fabric, while they need also to save fabric and to combine the different orders. But at the end, each new order is a kind of new equation to solve every day. And if we consider that most of the time these preparation steps are done manually, the risk of errors is quite high. And the dependency of this company to some key people and key expertise is very, very high also.
Yeah, so just to demonstrate some of those impediments you mentioned in the daily activity, let's have a look at those daily challenges with this little film.
Okay, that's perfect. Thanks a lot. Bye. Hello, I'm Amanda. I'm the production manager. And I'm very pleased to welcome you here today for us to explain how we process our production orders. So what I have here is the list of orders that came in yesterday from our ERP. And as you know, we have a certain number of things to do. So the first thing we're going to do to kick off is go and meet Emma, our pattern maker. Morning, Emma. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Super. Okay, so I have the list of orders that came in yesterday. So if, as usual, you can check that everything's okay, we'll be ready for production. That would be great. And if you could just explain how you work to our audience, that would be helpful.
Okay, no
Thanks
problem.
A lot. See you later.
So hello everyone, I'm Emma, pattern maker. My day-to-day job is actually to check all the lists of the orders. So looking at each line based on the fabric information, like the shrinkage, the direction, I have to make sure that the pattern is okay for production. I have some modifications to do, and it's really key to get things ready and done properly. So now I will take this list of yesterday orders and pass it to the marker making department. Hi Nelly, how are you?
Hi Emma, how are you? I'm fine.
Good, thank you. So this is a list of today. Everything is okay regarding the pattern, so ready for you.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Hi, my name is Nelly and I am the marker maker. My job is to do all the nesting and the markers for the orders to be cut tomorrow. So I'll be using a theoretical width of 1.38 meters, which I find is easier and faster to use. So I will check in the list to see which orders and products are to be mixed in order to avoid any shading issues, as my role is also to check that the fabrics do not present any shading defaults. Then I will prepare the markers for the orders to be cut for the day. And then I will pass this information on to the trainee so that she can prepare the prints for the cutting room.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. I'm Lourdes. I'm in charge to prepare the printouts of the combined orders. The combined orders are orders coming from different customers or orders with different elements. And the idea is to facilitate the people in the offloading to don't make bad pieces in the other packet. Hi, Christophe.
Hi.
Nelly is in a meeting, so I bring you all the information that you need for your cutting room today.
Thanks a lot.
Have a nice day.
So hi, I'm Christoph. I'm the cutting room manager. So I'm responsible of managing the operators, and I have to manage all the cutting machines. What I'm doing right now is organizing all the fabric rolls for tomorrow, so that my warehouse manager can bring all the necessary fabric to the machines so that we can do the cutting jobs on the machines. One of my biggest challenges is that we only use always the same width on the fabric, so there's no optimization of the width. That makes that I lose a lot of fabric on my rolls. Another challenge that I get often is that we have urgent orders or changes in orders. Then I have to run back to the pattern maker and the nesting team to arrange everything and change my whole organization in the day of the cutting orders. Another big challenge that I have is that I cannot give a real-time update of the workload to my boss. So as you can see, it's quite a challenging job.
Hi, Christoph. How's it going?
Oh, could be better.
Why?
We are end of the morning and we are only about 30 to 40% of the workload that was planned for today.
Okay.
So I will probably have to ask the team to do an hour longer. Also, we had some quality issues, so I had to get back to the nesting team and the petting team to adjust because of the fabric rolls.
Okay.
So I hope that 1 or 2 hours tonight will be enough to finish everything off.
I hope so too. See you later.
See you.
Okay, so it's not going well for them, is it, at the moment? It's clear that daily operations for furniture are pretty complex, as you said. How does Lectra support furniture companies like this on their daily activity?
Yeah, well, what we can see in this video is how people interact during the preparation phase, or the information that they need to exchange to do all the preparation. We can also see that the cutting room is a kind of black box in which it's difficult to get all the information or the real data to monitor the activity. So we understand that the room for optimization is not regarding the cutting speed, the cutting productivity. It's, let's say, before and even after the cutting. And that's why Lectra have launched in 2018 a new strategy based on the Industry 4.0 principles, so the big data, the cloud, the IT integration, and the very first offer that has been launched is Furniture on Demand by Lectra. And how the name suggests, Furniture on Demand addresses the furniture market and is dealing with on-demand production challenges.
Mm-hmm. Okay, furniture on demand. It sounds exactly like it does what it says in the tin. So what does this, in a real sense, what does this Cutting Room 4.0 Furniture on Demand actually bring?
Yes, so in fact, it removes all this complexity related to the customization. All the material constraints will be automatically managed. It removes all the complexity coming from the combination of all the different components. And on top of that, it provides also all the real-time data for the cutting activities that are, let's say, important to monitor what's happening in the cutting room. So at the end, to, let's say, produce a complex sofa with some motif fabric will be as easily as to produce a more basic or more standard sofa with plain fabric.
Well, that sounds pretty miraculous. Let's just have a little look at Furniture on Demand in action.
Supporting you in your industrial transformation, discover Furniture on Demand by Lectra, an offer combining a digital platform and a smart cutting solution and covering 2 different flows, small series management and customizable and modular product management. Furniture on Demand addresses your new challenges, such as variable production in volumes or products, on-demand production of personalized and modular products, while optimizing your processes with digitization and a high-performance cutting solution. Use the Furniture on Demand to optimize small series and customized unitary production and digitalize your cutting room. You get used to the collaborative platform and you set up your workflow. You benefit from a next-generation single-ply cutting line for the best cut quality of plain and all motif fabrics. Let's see how it works for customizable products, for example. Take a modular sofa configurable by the final consumer from orders to cut parts. Once you've defined the possible combinations that the customer designs using Product Manager, an application included in the digital cutting platform, an order can be processed. The order, generated in the store, is transformed into a customized product order automatically using your company's IT system. You also decide how to configure your production rules. For example, with first in, first out, you let the digital cutting platform process order per order. You can also create a buffer of orders, which are cut together per fabric. You decide whether to identify groups or to mix all the parts. You adjust rules according to different criteria such as product type, fabric type, or quality, and choose whether to mix or not in defined quantities. When the order is received, the digital cutting platform manages the automatic processing of customized product orders. The order is split per product. The combination requested by the customer is rebuilt to create a customized product, and the product is split per fabric to create cutting orders. The digital cutting platform manages the automatic processing and creation of cutting jobs. To sum up, customized product order processing is managed on a fully automatic basis. The cutting job arrives on the cutting line. On the loading workstation, instructions and controls are displayed on screen to ensure error-free fabric roll loading. The feeding device manages fabric introduction to limit intervention on the fabric. A high-definition scanner enables the operator to indicate accurately the first pattern repeat. The system takes over from there, requiring only a simple confirmation from the operator. Cutting startup time is faster than ever, thanks to predefined settings. The high-speed rotary-driven blade does not drag on the material, ensuring a precise and high-quality cut with no need for paper or plastic. Dedicated tools for notches also ensure high cutting speed and perfect matching. In the offloading zone, the operator can determine the speed of conveyor advance. It ensures the optimum balance between productivity and operator comfort. Visual offloading assistance maximizes operator efficiency, allowing operators to focus on quality control and bundling. Simultaneous loading, spreading, cutting, and offloading reduces cycle time and increases efficiency. The dashboard ensures that you can analyze your production performance. You gain the visibility you need for quick and informed decision-making. Our Furniture on Demand offer covers two different flows: small series management and customizable and modular product management, to let you configure your cutting room. More digital, efficient and flexible, you control your entire cutting room within the same digital cutting platform to maximize your equipment capacity.
So, Clementi, it's called Cutting Room 4.0, but Furniture on Demand is clearly way more than just a cutting.
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure. So Furniture on Demand is a combination of cutting equipment and the next generation of cutting equipment, plus the digital cutting platform. So regarding the cutting equipment, Virga, it's a single-ply cutting solution that embeds all the last technology developed by Lectra R&D, while also cutting without any paper and plastic. So it's a very efficient solution. And on top of this solution, there is this Lectra digital platform that automates all the tasks that are usually done by people and that are usually manual.
Yeah, hold on, wait. Does that mean then that this solution will replace people?
No. It's even the opposite. What we want to do is really to secure the expertise within these furniture companies and to help this company to allocate the expertise and these key people to added value tasks.
Okay, okay. Olivier, I'm going to come into you in a moment. I know you're feeling on the end, just supporting Clémentine here. But let's just have a look at that furniture company we saw earlier who are having such a bad time with their daily activity. Let's see how Furniture on Demand helped them with their daily activity.
Welcome back. Well, as you can see, things were pretty challenging before. We weren't always able to respect deadlines, and this made the situation very uncomfortable for the teams, and often they were working in very stressful conditions. But you know, things have changed a lot since then. We decided to invest in Lectra's Furniture on Demand, and the results have been beyond our expectations. So let's go and hear from the people you met before and see how this has impacted their daily activity.
Hello everyone. Well, now my job is much easier. There's many things automated, so I don't spend so much time checking all the orders. Now I can focus on new collections, continuous improvement, and everything regarding industrialization phase.
I will be leaving in a few days for personal reasons. So with Furniture on Demand, I've spent some time setting up the platform and integrating the production rules so as to make sure that everything runs smoothly while I'm away. In doing this, I'm sure that everything is already integrated into the platform and can be managed automatically without any human intervention. So the aim is, when I come back, to focus on fabric optimization, gathering characteristics on the fabrics and integrating them into the platform. This way we are sure to have the best nesting procedure for each fabric.
Hello, I'm Fabian, the IT and Security Manager. And at the beginning of this project, when we tried to connect our ERP internal systems to the Lectra cloud platform, I was asked to make sure that we did this in a correct way, in a secure way, integrating all the, let's say, the internal processes that we have the correct way. And in fact, the easiest part was the direct connection using the APIs, because they provide some kind of APIs, which is pretty easy to use. But the hardest part was to translate everything we had inside in terms of processes into good parameters in their applications, meaning that at that time we got some really good help from their professional services.
Welcome again. Everything is digital now, thanks to Furniture on Demand. Now I have a whole array of tools to organize my day. I have, for instance, Material Manager, where I can organize all my fabrics. Another tool I got is now Order Manager, to organize my cutting jobs. Now I can very quickly change the workload and also directly in real time see with my nesting and my pattern makers to see if any order has to be changed or if there's any quality issues on the job. Another thing that is now making my life much easier is that I have optimized roll width. That means instead of just using one standard width, now I use the full width of every roll, which makes that I have much less waste. Another handy tool now is that I got a dashboard actually that shows the real-time cutting jobs of my production, and so Amanda can also always have a view on what's going on.
As you can see, we are a lot more relaxed now. Things have really improved. And thanks to this optimized process, we're able to totally respect deadlines, which was a big problem before, and also take on more orders, which is great, boosting revenues. But not only, we're able also to have more time to investigate other ways of boosting our business, offering new services, for example, customized models that we couldn't do before. And also, we're so confident in the solution that, in fact, we're thinking of extending our business and opening a new factory in Eastern Europe. This means that we'll be able to carry out all the preparatory activities here. I can keep control of everything and have visibility, and send out the different production orders to our new factory in Eastern Europe. So this is something we're considering very, very strongly at the moment. And we're very confident to be able to produce top quality products with consistent reliability. And we're really very, very satisfied with our investment.
Well, it certainly helped them, didn't it? They were
They look happy.
delighted, weren't they? So, Olivier, could you give us a sense of what kind of shift Furniture on Demand represents for your customers?
Well, just one figure. Since we launched the solution years ago, we have implemented 65 solutions among 50 customers all around the world. So mainly, I mean, in the production for sure areas and ecosystem. We have a large diversity and variety of configuration, meaning that the profiling of the companies are quite different, but also the objectives of the company. Could be just going on, putting some CNC in the company, having also the replacement of, let's say, agent or quite old, let's say, install base. Could be, as Clémentine said, switching from mass production to a more agile production. Or could be also sometimes to put and to implement some qualitative or let's say some difficult, motive management system. The common point is that all these customers, they have a vision. They have the vision that they have to invest, that it's high time to invest, and that they have really to make this investment in the same way as they did usually previously in some other field of the manufacturing process, which could be the wood cutting, which could be the frame cutting, or also the sewing. So that's definitely now very, very important for them.
What about in terms of ambition? Do they have similar ambitions, would you say?
I would say so. So first of all, and that was also mentioned by Clémentine, they really want to reduce the complexity they have and really to streamline the process and the production internally. More than that, they really have now to answer, and believe me, this is really the tricky point, because answering now the new stakes and the new request of the final customers, meaning these people, they want to have more choice, so more collection and more often, more combination of products and also components, having still a high level of quality, having, of course, the fastest delivery which is possible. And these new customers, let's say, they are really, really very expecting a lot, let's say, from the manufacturer with regards to the eco-friendly or sustainability topics. Mixing all these things, that's really, really a challenge. And more than that, our customers, they have in common also that they really want also to improve their positioning on the market, secure their market share, and of course, generate a sustainable profit margin on the long term. So this is really, really important. And if I may say, and just add maybe one point, because here we are talking about this new generation being on the customers and the client level. Let's consider now these people as workers, internal employees of these companies. They have also very, very high, let's say, expectancy. And this furniture on demand solution is also a very good way to attract, keep, motivate, easily train these people, and give them a nice place to work, if I may say, which is more bringing, let's say, some comfort, some security, and also avoiding a lot of stress, and also some mistakes, which is also very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, you would say that, but it's down to the customers to find out exactly what it brings them. And luckily, I don't need to take your word for it, because we do have some customers who are coming to talk to us, which I believe you knew that, obviously. It's not a surprise to you.
Yeah. So we know that, and as you said, this is the best testimonial for us, this customer's voice. We will travel a little bit, if I may say, Chris, so we maybe a little bit finding the sun somewhere else. So we will have the chance, and you will have the chance to discuss with Esben from Jacobsen Home from Lithuania, which is a very key customer for us. Then we will cross the ocean and go to the US and have King Hickory from the US, as I said. And last but not least, we will have also a video testimonial from our customer in Japan, Karimoku. So 3 continents.
Oh, wow, you're doing my job for me.
Trying to.
I'd better start talking to those customers. Thank you, Olivier, and for the moment, Clémentine. Welcome. I am joined, as Olivier mentioned, by one of our 3 customers, Esben Jacobsen or Jacobsen?
It can be either.
It could be
Jacobsen
either.
in Danish, Jacobsen probably in English. So it's
Okay, I'm going to stick with.
you're okay if you.
I'm going to stick with Esben.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Just tell the viewers a little bit about the company.
Jacobsen Home was founded in 2006 on the passion of the Danish furniture design traditions. So talking about aesthetics, functionality, craftsmanship, and also the honest expression. That's the DNA in everything we do. We are mastering pretty much everything from the idea to the final product. Sometimes working with select designers. We also have our own in-house design departments. And we are doing almost all the processes within the upholstery manufacturing.
But what about the challenges for the industry in the last couple of years? How have they affected you?
Yeah, well, that's been quite challenging.
Yes, an interesting time. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been. Of course, we've seen that the last 2 years has been very good, and now we are seeing the continuing of disruption in the supply chain, in the increase in material costs, energy costs. We are seeing the labor and skills shortages. We also, of course, the digitalization in general in the production, and sustainability. It is a big challenge. It's an important challenge for all of us over these next coming years.
You mentioned digitization, which of course means it involves investment, doesn't it? And I was just wondering why you chose to invest in furniture on demand particularly.
Well, we actually invested a lot of money into IT, lean improvements over these last 4 or 5 years. It's a big challenge within upholstery, as a sofa production, for example. There's a lot of manual processes, and one of the things there with the connection between our ERP and MES systems and the furniture on demand helps at least solve some part of this within the production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you about because Olivier mentioned, how good furniture on demand is for employees, and I want to talk about the holding on to your skills and the talents generally. But first of all, I want to just watch this message from your Chief Information Officer. Yeah.
My name is Martina Keketiova. I've been working for Jacobsen Home for the last 16 years, and I'm Chief Information Officer. The furniture on demand help us to retain as well the talent in a company from the two perspectives. One is to keep the existing employees, and another one is onboarding new employees. Regarding to existing employees, it's very important that they feel that they have an interesting place to work in. So it means the better knowledge, better training, more flexible, and of course the very important reduction of the stress. And onboarding of the new employees as well, that they will be integrated into the production process faster, as well less stressful, and that they already know after quite a bit short time what is their work about. That was a very good experience, and of course this experience required two things, and that one of them was definitely the Lectra team, and have well worked out the project plan. So in combination of these two things, I think we achieved very successful outcome and in very short time. So already in 2 weeks' time we were back on the normal production, but it requires as well the upfront real and solid preparation of your ERP integration with other platforms.
Thank you very much to Martina. So in terms of talent coming on board and onboarding that she talked about, we heard much earlier on about people's movement, mental shift towards sustainability and wanting that in the things they sit on, but also actually in where they work. How does Jacobsen Home support that?
Well, with all our lean implementations and process optimizations, we also looked a lot at how do we do better training of people. We're working with a system called TWI, Job Instructions, which actually look at how do we break down the work. So we create standard work for how the people are working with, for example, the furniture on demand system. And then we're looking at all the important steps so that it is actually much, much faster to train new operators on the machines. Before we could experience up to maybe 6 months before somebody got really good at it. And now within maybe a few weeks, we are probably already up at 80% efficiency on this operator. So there is a lot of benefits in the furniture on demand in the way of helping to make the job easier, more organized, but probably also more interesting for the operator.
And does it answer the question of sustainability as well?
Well, the sustainability is it's of course very important in everything we do. We are, as a manufacturer, we do use a lot of raw materials. So whatever we can do to decrease the amount of waste we're generating, that means, for example, with the cutting process, the furniture on demand, we have much better roll management as a fabric warehouse. We are utilizing the widths of the fabric much better. We are cutting in between the markers instead of before we were cutting one order, then the next order, which left quite a bit of waste. And the machine doesn't use the plastics, there are no papers. So there's a lot of benefits in this as we're seeing on our onwards journey towards becoming more sustainable.
So it sounds like Lectra is sort of almost keeping pace with you in terms of what you want out of it. So how would you describe your relationship with Lectra?
Well, we have a very good relationship. I actually call it more like a partnership because both they're listening to us as a customer. I think it is a learning relationship from both sides. We learn a lot. They are also learning. Of course, the enormous knowledge they have in the cutting room really helps us to improve our processes, to become more efficient, to reduce the amount of rolls that we are handling on a daily basis.
Excellent. And presumably reduce human error as well.
Definitely. I mean, cutting errors before, of course, if we found them fast, maybe they didn't cause so much problems. But if they go on into the sewing department or the upholstery department, it creates a lot of not only chaos, but also a lot of inefficiencies and a lot of extra waste. So now we have much less cutting errors. And at the same time, we actually also created more like a pull system. So it means we are not moving the things around in the production as we did before, because we are cutting exactly what we need for the next operation.
Sounds like a great success story.
Thank
you very much, Esben Jacobsen.
Thank you very much also.
So clearly, Lectra has managed great customer success there. The question is how. So with me to answer that question, hopefully, and tell us a lot more, Laurence Jacot and Philippe Dubert. Welcome. Thank you for coming. If I could start with you, Laurence, what is customer success? It's a simple question. Is it a simple answer?
It's not so simple, but yes, very simple question. In fact, customer success is a state-of-the-art approach that Lectra has developed in 2019 with the launch of our 4.0 solutions, like furniture on demand. In fact, at Lectra, we put the customer at the center of everything. And what we have developed, in fact, is this methodology. And we want to go further with our customers. We want them, in fact, to achieve their business goals and to get the most of the solutions, their solutions, and all this with the best possible experience. hence the equation. In fact, customer success is very simple, as you said. Customer success is the addition of customer outcomes plus customer experience.
Ooh, mathematics at this point. Thank you for that. So if you're going to answer the question specifically with Lectra, what is customer success management, Lectra?
If I can summarize, in fact, at Lectra, customer success brings together three things. The first thing, customer success is a new discipline, as you have understood. We have launched this discipline in 2019. But customer success is also an organization. And at least, customer success is a mindset. And this is very, very important, because a mindset, that means that all the people at Lectra are committed to be close to the customers, all the people that are in front office, but also in back office. We are committed, and our obsession is that the customer push their boundaries and unlock their potential. This is our ambition. So this is a new, let's say, discipline. It's also an organization, and also it's also a methodology, because methodology, that means that we have deployed and put in place a set of processes, tools to help our customers, for example, with a success plan, to achieve their business goals, and we commit together with the customer to achieve these goals. And at least it's an organization, as I was saying, and that means also that we are providing our customer, of course, support with a lot of experts, but we are also providing to our customers a free service, and for furniture on demand it's the case, a free service with a follow-up by a dedicated customer success manager.
Wow, there was a lot to take in there. So if I could just talk about the organization that you mentioned a few times. What is in place?
You know, organization is worldwide. You know, Lectra is worldwide, and we are more than 750 people, professionals, bringing together since the Lectra and Gerber merger, and all these people are focused and are fully dedicated to the success of our customers. Among these 750 people, and you agree with me, it's a huge number of people working on the success of our customers, among which I can describe, for example, we have 150 experts that are doing remote support in our 13 expertise centers. We have also 350 field service engineers very close to the customer on the field. We have also 120 professional services that provide service, training, projects to the customers. And last but not least, we are deploying the customer success management, and today we have 35 customer success managers that are close to our customers.
Last but not least, I would like you to tell us more about the CSM network, the customer service success managers.
Let's make it simple.
Please.
Yes. The customer success manager is the best friend of the customer. In fact, the customer success manager is dedicated to a customer, so he follows between 10 and 20 customers. He's fully dedicated to this customer. He's very close to the users, that are very important, but also to the C-level. And the customer success manager brings the voice of the customer within the Lectra organization. And this is very, very important, because we have all the feedback from the customers in live with the customer success managers. And we can bring it to the marketing, to the R&D, to the product, and so on. This is very, very powerful. And to finish, in fact, the customer success manager, he has got two obsessions. First, is the customer satisfaction at all stages of the relationship. And the second obsession is, of course, that the customers get the most of the Lectra solution, and the customer must achieve his business goals through the use of the Lectra solution.
Very good, thank you very much. Philippe, just to bring you in now, can you explain the approach that is implemented in terms of this network? Sure. At the management level, the customer service, success management.
Like Laurent said, our number one goal as customer success managers is to make sure that the customers reach their business goals through the use of Lectra solutions. So how do we achieve that? we have put in place, we have designed standardized and flexible 4 phases approach to help our customers in that sense. So it all starts with a very good and shared understanding of the customer's strategy, objectives, and criteria of success. From that, we deduct KPIs that we will follow with the customers along all the journey. This information is stored as a reference in a customer success plan that Laurence mentioned. So this success plan is really the guidebook that will follow the relationship with the customer along all the way. So the second phase of this approach is onboarding phase. Onboarding is conducted by our professional services teams, and their goal is mainly to get the customer's teams up and running with a solution, being able to use it as soon as possible. So once onboarded comes the adoption phase. So adoption is conducted exclusively by the customer success managers. And during that phase, we make sure that the customer sees the value, the benefits from the solution as soon as possible. But we don't stop there. The customer success managers continue engaging with the customer over time, accompanying them, helping them in maximizing the use of the solutions, always to get to their goals, their business goals, right? And I'm happy to say that it works well.
You're happy to say, well, you would say that, wouldn't you? What actually are the results? Do you have figures for us?
Yeah, by the way, yes, we continuously monitor our customer satisfaction, and here you can have the figures that we can see here, and our satisfaction measurement from the customers is 80%, which is quite good, good result.
Very good.
Very good.
But he's a perfectionist. You see, he wants it better. He always wants it better.
Always better.
Good.
And what is also really interesting is that the Net Promoter Score, which is a recommendation score from customers, is up to 63, which really proves that our customers are starting to be our ambassadors. They are really promoting us in the market.
They all love you, Philippe. Excellent. Well, don't worry, I won't be asking my next customer to see how much they love you. But thank you very much, Laurence and Philippe. I'm now going to speak to a second customer, King Hickory. So hopefully John Palmer is in the building.
John is in the building, Chris.
Excellent.
Good morning.
Excellent, John. Good. Well, whatever time it is for you, I know we're in different time zones. But for the benefit of those people watching who may not know King Hickory or may just have heard of it, could you just introduce yourself and the company?
Certainly. My name is John Palmer, and I'm a third generation owner of King Hickory Furniture. We started in 1958, so we're slightly over 60 years old. We make higher end custom upholstery and service 450 furniture retailers throughout 48 states in the U.S. And we have a nice staff of people, and our motto is we make nice furniture for nice people. So it's
very good.
It's a joy to get to work.
You're based out on the East Coast in North Carolina, that's right?
We are on the East Coast in the southern part of North Carolina. In fact, Catawba County, where we live, is famous for better end upholstery. A lot of our competitors I grew up with and went to high school with, and we're still friends now. And so there's a lot of really great family-owned businesses making really great furniture in our area of the country, our little small area of the world, if you will.
Very nice, very nice. But we've been hearing from people that there have been and there are a lot of challenges in the furniture industry at the moment. And I'm going to come and ask you about that in a minute. But first of all, I want to show a little film from your colleague, I believe, Keith Hart. Let's have a look at this.
We compete against a lot of Asian importers that are not particularly custom. And what we want to do to beat that is to have a very custom product, a very specific product, to be able to use pattern and in ways that our competitors overseas cannot, because they're not a custom outfit. We try to do a lot of stuff that involves a lot of choice and a lot of computer-driven decisions that make it hard for the overseas competitors to come against us. We have a pretty elaborate selection of fabrics, really unique set of styles that we offer, a lot of options. We're probably known for our sectional options, which is a big part of our business. The Furniture on Demand solution allowed us to, number one, produce our stuff a little faster. And in this environment where so much stuff is delayed, anything we can to improve our efficiencies or improve our speed is a real positive. It also is more labor efficient, and our inability to hire people has made anything that's going to improve our efficiencies on a labor standpoint really be better. Since we've used their system, it's allowed us to do a great job with patterned fabrics as well as plain fabrics. A lot of our multi-fabric jobs require a pretty high level of matching, so this particular system has allowed us to meet those expectations our customers have.
So that was Keith being very positive. Do you think that that's answered a lot of your questions around the challenges that there are out there?
Keith did a great job of describing the challenges King Hickory's faced over the last, let's call it 25 years, when Asia, specifically China, got into the furniture, decided to get into the furniture business. They made quite a ruckus, a lot of waves in America shipping their furniture over. And we were very concerned about, what's the word? It was an existential threat. Just look that word up so I know what it means. And so it got to where we knew we had to change our business model and offer customers choices, offer them the customization. One of the retailers used the word, "You dream it, we build it," as opposed to the China model, which is we build a lot of it and you buy it cheap. And we didn't want any part of that business. So we started customizing and offering sectional programs, change your arm, change your back, over 1,000 fabrics. A lot of our furniture has 5 different fabrics on one piece. So a batch size of 1 is now a big order for us. And Furniture on Demand is perfect for that business model and helping us execute that business model.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've got quite, they're not demanding, but they are quite particular, your customers. They demand high quality and stuff like that. So how does Lectra, I mean, you mentioned Furniture on Demand, how does that help you maintain the standards?
Sure. Lectra, our first Lectra machine was a Vector 2500, which was designed to cut stack fabrics. You know, we could stack 25 sofas at a time. We thought that was the greatest thing ever. And it was at the time. Well, then we got the top spin, the next generation, and it could cut one sofa really quickly, really efficiently. Again, we were high-fiving each other, high-fiving the Lectra techs. This is the greatest thing ever. But now we have the Furniture on Demand, which is really blows my mind, the ability it gives us to execute our plan. We can execute that single order, that custom order, that high quality order, the demanding matching requirements. It just does an excellent job with all that. Oh, and by the way, it does it really quickly. So
yeah,
that's why we're so excited about the technology.
Yeah. Now, you've mentioned 2 old processes there, and I'm just going to show another film from a colleague of yours, Carla Chastain, talking about the new process, and I'll come back to you after that. Let's just have a little look what Carla has to say.
Okay.
King Hickory is using multiple solutions with Lectra right now. We run 2 different cutting machines. One being the top spins, which is the most common in the area since Hickory is known for cutting furniture. And the other is the new Verga machine. Each one of those machines can put out twice the quantity that our top spins do. And that's exceptionally helpful. The world is changing and we want to change with it to purchase a new way of going about cutting furniture. It's a faster, more efficient way to get our products from us to our customers. The Verga system is actually really excellent with matching. The software itself and implementing that has actually run really seamless. We run a lot of pattern cloths and a lot of COM materials, especially stuff with chevrons. And using the Verga, it has expressed everything we do as far as matching, because the machine itself visually sees the fabric and counts each individual measurement, which again saves time for us because we're not hand measuring stuff.
Well, she's made it very clear how impressive the machine is and what it gives you. So it feels to me almost like Lectra were listening to you and what you wanted, and then going, oh, wait a minute, you could have this and stuff like that. How is your relationship with Lectra, would you say?
Oh, our relationship with Lectra is tremendous. We started buying the machines in the 90s, and the first one that showed up, again, I go back to just how amazed we were that we could cut something with a machine as opposed to hand cut it, which that was wonderful.
Okay, so hold on. Let's just so hand cutting one. How long did that take to get that to a customer?
Well, we would spend at least an hour to not an hour and 15 minutes to hand cut a sofa using plastic patterns.
Right.
Now we're less than 10 minutes, maybe, less than 10 minutes. I mean, we didn't have enough room in our buildings for all the hand cutters and all the tables we needed, not to mention all the plastic hanging everywhere. Of course, all that has changed, and it's, again, you go from possibly 75 to 90 minutes to 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't know. It's quick. It's really quick.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
and
that's a big change.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You were talking about the relationship with Lectra. That was my mistake.
Oh, yeah, of course. And so I remember my first trip to Atlanta, which is the office we deal with, or Marietta, I believe. And a lot of the folks there that helped us solve problems back around 1998, they're still helping us solve problems today. So my relationship with Lectra it's just, wow, we've just I don't know how to say, it's seamless. It's really seamless. That's the best word for it. Couldn't have a better vendor.
Perfect.
We got vendors of the year. If you don't have, it'd be Lectra.
Yeah. So it sounds like just getting one piece of technology in, they could just walk away, couldn't they, and say, right, there you are, you're sorted. But they've kept innovating based on your demands and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, we did buy an alternative machine, and it was much cheaper, I will say. So I went the inexpensive route, the budget route, if you will, and they sold us the machine and they walked away. That machine's not in our building anymore, by the way.
Well, let's mention no names, but that's a perfect place to stop. And calling it seamless just makes my day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, John, for your time. John, you may now leave the building.
Oh, thank you very much, Chris. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much, John Palmer. He has left the building, and I'm now joined by Sylvain Leroux.
Hi.
Welcome. Project Owners Manager.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And you heard what John said there. He talked about the Lectra never resting on older technology, and that's very much your department, I like to think. Can you, I think you're here to discuss the machine, aren't you? The, what's it called, the Virga?
Yes, the Virga machine, yes.
Virga machine, yeah. I think we're going to see it now. I'm seeing two slightly different machines. Why?
Oh, in 2018, as part of a furniture on demand offer, we launched this Virga equipment, and based on the feedback of the customer, we know that we make the machine even better. So we take the feedback from the customer, and the customer success team help us to do that also. We came with some evolution that can even improve the user experience.
Wow, so you basically, so is it the one on the left is the 2018 and this is the new one. So you took all the feedback and just decided, right, we're going to update it.
The cutting part was okay. We cut really fast, really accurate. But we have some way of improvement about the offloading area and the feeding. That was the main improvement.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, you mentioned offloading first. So let's have a look at that. What improvements have you made?
Concerning the offloading zone, the main improvement that was requested was to have a bigger offloading zone. So for the operator to have more space, so they can have more time to pick up the pieces. Because sometimes they are stressed because the machine is cutting really fast, so they have not time to pick all the pieces. So now they have more time to pick the pieces, make the bundle, and put it on the other side.
That's interesting.
There was one other topic. There was sometimes upset because they have to walk around this furniture where we have this stand with a computer, and so maybe they can do it 50 times a day. So it's more work for nothing. So we just listen to them and make a smaller furniture, more compact. And when we did that, we also make this stand that will not vibrate, because when we are cutting fast, the machine sometimes vibrates. So it was not convenient for the operator to manipulate the computer with the screen vibrating.
Oh, of course not.
So we make it separately, independent. So there's no more vibration now.
So longer in terms of the offloading, but actually a more compact machine and less vibration. Anything else?
Yes. Concerning the offloading zone, as I explained, there's a lot of stress during offloading because you need to keep the pieces together to be sure that the pieces from one furniture will not go with another one. So we help the operator. We guide them with an offloading video projector that show colors for every pieces that need to be offloaded together. So it's more productive and less stress for the operator. So we have really good feedback for this feature.
Very good. Okay, so that's the offloading zone. You mentioned the feeding zone as well.
Yes, the operator take some time to put the roll on the feeder. He can do it 50 times a day or something like that. So the rolls are really heavy. So we make it more easy, less painful to manipulate that. So we lower down the cradle. So now it's more easy to put the roll inside. As a side effect, the feeding quality is also improved. So it's a really nice feature we developed.
Yeah.
And one last thing, we have also a request not from the user this time, but more from the cutting room manager, because we reduce the running cost of the machine, because the belt where we cut need to be replaced on a regular basis. And sometimes we need to replace it, and because the belt was damaged only on a specific area, where the fabric is aligned, because we always start at the same place.
Right.
So we improve the feeder and make a random software that change the alignment of the fabric randomly. So with this feature, we are not we have no more this damage only on one place. It's more on a global area, so customer can change the belt when he really need to.
So you're extending the life of the belt, basically.
Yes.
Very good, very good. And is it out already, this machine?
Yes, it's already on the market since 2020, and we have really good feedback on this machine. So I think it will be stay like that for a long time.
Very good, very good. What about people who have the 2018 machine?
We will continue to support them for as long as
right.
Yes,
excellent.
As the other machine, yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Well, that was a very efficient answer, just like the machine. It's good to hear. Now, I'm now going to listen to another customer. So thank you very much, Sylvain Leroux. But as I said, on to our third customer testimonial. So it's time to, as Olivier said, go to Japan and hear from Kazimoku.
カリモコは1940年に木工所として創業し、品質市場の精神を引き継ぎ続け、現在では木材料調達から販売までを行う総合家具メーカーに成長しました。カリモコグループは7つの家具工場、4つの資材工場、28の営業所、そして26のショールームを備えています。 仮木が創業してから日本の家具市場は大きく変わりました。仮木は中高級家具を受注生産するということで生き残っていきました。現在ではお客様が家具の種類と張り地や塗装色を選ぶカスタマイズ家具が全体の 80% に及びます。受注生産のスピードを上げることはもちろんですが、受注の複雑化に応え、裁断部品の精度向上を格段に上げまして、ファブリックの魅力を余すことなく伝え、製品の高品格化につなげたいというふうに思いました。新しいアイデアをもたらしてくれるパートナーを探しているときに、レクトラからのアプローチがありました。最新のレクトラソリューションの内容を聞き、設計から生産まで、生産プロセス全体での生産革新をもたらしてくれるソリューションだというふうに思いました。また、ボルドーの IATC で出会ったレクトラのエキスパートの知識の深さと情熱に触れ、良いパートナーになれると確信しました。MTO ソリューションは、バーサリスのテストカットでレクトラの IATC へ訪問したときに初めて見ました。出来上がったパーツが完璧に柄が合っていることに驚きました。裁断機と弊社の ERP が接続され、簡単なオペレーションで受注に合わせて裁断ができること、そして裁断されたパーツの精度が非常に高いことが魅力です。仮木家具のデジタル化と製品の高品格化を高い次元で実現できると思いました。デジタル裁断プラットフォームとビルガの連携により、膨大な裁断図の管理が不要になります。裁断オペレーションも簡単で生産性が高くなり、ミスもなくなります。生産全体のプロセスも早くなり、納期も短縮できるでしょう。将来は複数の生産拠点をつなげ、一括管理することも可能になります。アジア初の MTO パイロットカスタマーとして、このプロジェクトに携わったことを大変誇りに思っています。私は工場と顧客を直接つなげていこうというふうに考えています。このレクトラソリューションは、その夢の実現を手伝ってくれるものと確信しております。
So there we have it, another interesting view. And you've now heard from 3 customers, as well as a lot of people from Lectra and beyond, about Cutting Room 4.0, furniture on demand. And we're nearly there. I just want to get a summary, so I'm going to call back Clémentine Mittard. Calling you back sounds like I'm asking you to do your homework. Welcome back. Some very interesting stories there. Anything you want to say about them?
Yes, sure. What we can see here is that through these 3 customer testimonials, that Furniture on Demand succeed in helping this customer to transform the way they work, to automate their process. And what is also interesting is to see how different are these customer testimonials. In fact, we have as many different customer stories as we have customer for this offer. And I really want to thank Karimoku, Kinikori, and Jacobsen teams for sharing their experience. Today are the best ambassadors for explaining what this solution brings, and the value of this solution for sure are these customers. And then also I would like to conclude that this solution has been developed for this customer, but is also developed with their support. With the great job of the customer success team, this solution has the possibility also to evolve according to the challenges they have today, as we are very close on the daily basis with all these customers. So just to conclude, what I will say that it's a never-ending success story between Lectra and these furniture companies.
Never-ending, true, but this event does actually have to come to an end right now. Thank you very much, Clémentine. Yes, we finish now, but all the elements are available on the SpotMe platform, including the interviews that you've seen, you've witnessed, all the video testimonials from Esben Jacobsen, Kazimoku, and of course King Hickory's John Palmer. And also, you can find anything you want to know about Furniture on Demand, anything more specific you want to know, including the brochure. And there are also some exclusive testimonials from other customers, other success stories. Clémentine nodding away with a nice smile there. And of course, you can we're very happy for you to contact your local Lectra representatives to get any more information and or even book a demonstration. So that's it from us. I hope if you've asked a question that it will be answered. If not already, then shortly. I need to move because I'm starting to feel like part of the furniture myself. So thank you very much for watching and see you again soon. Bye-bye.